This is the Altitude Daily Podcast. Everything you can't miss from today on Altitude Sports Radio. Mosher, Lombardi, and Kane.
If your wife is like mine, you will have 5 packages from Amazon that arrive at your doorstep every single day. And I'm always wondering, what is this stuff? How is this always happening?
Phoenix, our entire front patio was littered in
I'm
packages,
sure.
and I'm like, oh!
It's just every single time, every couple of weeks, I have to take the recycling bin out. It's like nothing fits. I can't fit everything in here. Every single week. Every single time it happens.
It's like, what is this stuff? And she'll say, hey, I'll get that came too late, so I'm sending that back. This didn't fit. I'm returning that.
That's the thing.
That's why I'm taking it back. I'm sending it back. I'm like, you say you take everything back, and yet we have everything.
So here's girl math. This is how she explained it to me. She orders a package. She doesn't like it. It's a dress, it's a shirt, it's jeans, it's whatever. Doesn't like it. So I'm going to take it back. And she goes, but I got this after I returned that, so this is free. So girl math is, according to her, if I spent $50 on something and then I returned that and I got $50 back, but I spent that $50 on something else, that means that thing that I just bought is now free.
No, it's $50.
And I go, nope, that's actually $50. That's still $50. And I feel like people are doing that with Russell Wilson with this new jump in the salary cap. That, hey, the salary cap is going to jump anywhere from $22 to $27 million.
That's 2 years in a row. It's gone up pretty damn big time.
$53 million over the last 2 years.
That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of money.
So I've heard some Broncos fans do this. Oh, well, if it jumps to $27 million, that means the thing with Russell Wilson now on that eating his money is now only $8 million. It's like, no, it's not, because you could have had the extra 27 if you didn't have that there. So I don't understand that. Now, I will say this. It does help. It helps you maneuver things this year where you can keep things together and plan for the future a lot better and all of that.
Take a look at Nik Bonitto and say, hey, do we want to get something done sometime soon?
This is what I wanted to talk about, because I'll make a one-to-one correlation. You guys see the news out of Cincinnati yesterday with Ja'Marr Chase, that he is going to be looking for upwards of $40 million a year.
Did see that.
The leader
for a dependent position, that's crazy money.
But here's why Cincinnati is always stupid. Had they done the Chase deal last year, that number is probably 32 to 33. And now they're just forking over more money because you saw the cap go up, and Ja'Marr Chase is going, well, I want more now. The Broncos don't wait on Nik Bonitto. Get this done immediately.
The Altitude Daily. The Morning Sprint.
Tyler Dragon believes that Dallas could be the perfect place to revive his career. If Dallas does see Javonte like Tyler Dragon does that open the door for Ashton Jeanty to Denver?
No, sir. Because there's no way that Javonte Williams would be brought to Dallas to be the bell cow. He's had all the opportunities in the world to be the bell cow in Denver post-knee injury, and he's just flat out not.
Hold on. Are you sure?
I'm 100% sure. The proof's in the pudding.
End of the season, remember you were complaining about, Sean Payton hasn't really fed a running back, hasn't really stuck to one guy to see if he's the truth.
Well, I thought it was
Audric
Javonte.
Estime.
It was Javonte earlier in the season. Frankly, the film was not good. That's why I wasn't sitting there standing for Javonte Williams to be that bell cow, because the film sucked. The film was atrocious through about 12 games of the season. Once Javonte Williams settled into third down pass protecting role, 2-minute offense, end of half, end of game scenarios, fantastic. He's awesome. It's a great check down merchant for Bo Nix to throw the football to. Did a really good job of getting vertical, getting forward, extra yards. He's just not a bell cow running back, man. So that would be, wherever he signs, it's going to be signing as a role player.
Yeah. Second guy, split the carries.
Samaje Perine in Kansas City.
That's exactly what he is at this point. Yeah, it's a shame. I see where you're going there. I wish maybe it helps a little bit. I still think he's probably Cowboys bound, man. Like they gotta revive that offense somehow. You got to find a way to help Dak, especially coming off of the injury. Jeanty's probably going to be a Cowboy, isn't he, man?
I think so.
I'm getting ready for it too. I'm really upset about it, but I'm getting ready for it. I'm going to soften that blow.
Especially with my old center that used to have my hands up in his crevices when he was playing center for the Boise State Broncos back in 2003 and 4. And I was playing quarterback. God. He's the offensive coordinator now for the Dallas Cowboys, Clayton Adams. You think he wants a Boise State Bronco running back? You bet he does.
The Altitude Daily. Polumbus, Hastings, and DMAC.
Does tonight matter? That's the big question. Does this USA Hockey Canada thing matter? You can hear the game on 950. Nuggets are going to be right here on 92.5. But does it matter?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, it matters because
game one was fun. It was a riot. It all got it started. But there really wasn't anything on the line other than pride. And I guess in the big picture, there's not a whole lot more on the line tonight than there was then, other than there's finality. And if you don't win the finality, it doesn't matter what you did before.
Well, and didn't the USA a couple years ago, World Cup or whatever, beat Canada in the preliminary rounds and lost them in the gold medal round? So do you even remember, right? Andy, I was talking to Andy last night, and he said he was talking to somebody, some hockey guy from Canada guy. He goes, Canada loses this game, everybody that's in charge of Canadian hockey, on the international type level, he said it wouldn't surprise me if they blow out absolutely everybody if they were to lose to U.S. So I would think that matters for them, but it also puts a lot of pressure. For U.S., listen, we've seen this all the time. I think this is going to be watched. 10 million people watched the last game. I think people are going to watch this thing, and people that like hockey but maybe aren't into it. Listen, you've been down there. I know that South Suburban complex that's down there off of County Line Road. Two or three giant hockey rinks right down there. That's packed. Every time I've walked in that place is packed with young kids. Saw a girls' team, looked like more high school level practicing there one day, packed with hockey. USA wins this thing. I think all the four-letter network and everybody else is going to blow this up, and I think youth hockey will have a little bit of a spike.
It probably already gets a little bit of one, just from the first one.
Does this matter as much as the Olympics?
No.
Why? What's the
many
difference?
Countries. The whole world's represented.
Yeah, but who cares? Olympics. As long as America's in it, what's the difference?
I'm gonna say it's more right now, and yes, it has a huge part of it is absolutely the politics that's going on right now. You don't have to pick a side; you can just be real about it. There are passionate people on both sides of this thing right now, and you've got two countries that are kind of going at each other. So I would argue that this right now means more than the Olympics.
The Altitude Daily. Kreckman and Lindahl.
USA Canada tonight. All right, Andy. I'm going to tell you who the two most important players on the ice are tonight. I've got this. I've distilled it down to two dudes. And I know this is some serious high-level hockey stuff. It's the goalies.
You think so?
It's the goalies.
Binnington versus Winnipeg guy.
Hellebuyck. Yes. The funny part is that Binnington plays in the United States, but he's Canadian, and then Hellebuyck plays in Canada, but he's American. Okay, now that we've got all that squared away. Connor Hellebuyck, okay? He's been hell of a goalie throughout this tournament, I would say, so far for Team USA, including being spectacular against Team Canada in the first time that they played on Saturday up in Montreal in the big fight fest, okay? He was great. Hellebuyck he's the favorite to win the Vezina. He's probably the best goaltender in the world, and that's what the Americans got going for them. That's where they have a significant advantage is in goaltending. But do you remember last year when the Avalanche played the Winnipeg Jets in the playoffs?
I did.
Do you remember that version of Connor Hellebuyck?
Well, I did because he got screened quite often.
Yeah, he wasn't very good.
No, he couldn't see pucks.
No. And even pucks that he saw, he was letting go in. He sucked. The thing about Connor Hellebuyck is he's got the Clayton Kershaw thing. He's the best goaltender in the regular season. You go to the playoffs and bupkis, okay? Meanwhile, Jordan Binnington, who is good for giving up one bad goal a game, is also a dude that once upon a time, Andy, stopped 32 of 33 shots in a Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Do you remember what building he did that in?
Well, I'm assuming it's Boston.
It was Boston.
Can't say I totally remember it, but I know where you're going.
Where he did that very thing. So here's the question for tonight is, does Binnington revert to his big game form? And does Hellebuyck then, with the pressure and the lights the brightest, with the eyes of a continent upon him, does Connor Hellebuyck hella suck tonight?
Not if the Canadians play the game the way they did the first time, which was not very grindy.
Yeah, they got to get grindier.
Look,
this is an Andy Lindahl special right here.
But what happened the first game? The Americans were grindier. All the sexy was on the Canadian side. You had McJesus coming out of his defensive zone at 95,000 miles an hour, skating past the whole Canadian, not only his Canadian teammates, the American defense as well, and putting one in. And then guess what? It's the only goal you're getting. Listen, it's a little bit of a tale for the Avs when it comes to the playoffs. You got to get the guy that's going to be in front of the net and get the ugly stuff.
Yeah.
Because in championship moments, that's what matters.
Andy loves ugly goals.
Well, I don't love it, but it's what's required.
No, you love it.
I do. I love winning.
This is
However
your
you win. I love winning.
This
Nate.
is your hockey take. I
love a big hat.
Yes, you do love a big hat.
You've been listening to the Altitude Daily. Catch us live weekdays on 92.5 FM, the Altitude Sports Radio app, twitch.tv/AltitudeSR, youtube.com @Altitude Sports Radio, and your favorite smart speaker. Say Altitude Sports Radio.